Hey guys, Avner Miranda here. Today I wanted to give you just a moment of pause, if I could, in regards to optics placement. For years, we've always been shown with an optic sitting here on a long gun. I honestly couldn't tell you why that is. I'm thinking it probably has something to do with the magnifiers that people will tend to put behind their optics, which have been around for a lot longer than people realize they've been around. The reason that I bring that up is when we see the military model of placing an optic up front, because those guys do use magnifiers from time to time, or the law enforcement model, what I say to people is, if you have a magnifier, then yeah, put your optic there. If you don't have a magnifier, consider putting your optic further back, basically as far back on that upper receiver as you can get it, because the closer that you get the optic to your eye, the clearer sight picture you're going to have through that optic. And the easiest way that I can describe this is, the Micro T1 is a tube, okay? And when you're looking through a tube, I have people do this, and I don't let them get away with just one hand. I actually make them make a tube with two hands, and I'll say, look across the room at a light switch. So they'll look across the room, and there it is. They'll find that light switch. So I say, now take this tube and just bring it all the way up to your eye, and all of a sudden, everything changes. It's the difference between looking through a tube versus looking through a window. When you move closer to your optic, you're looking through that optic rather than at that optic, and the world around you has a wider field of view. That's all it is, guys. People will say, well, yeah, you know, but the reason I like it there is because I want my peripheral vision open. Your peripheral vision, trust me, is going to be open whether your optic is here, or whether your optic is here, or whether your optic is here is irrelevant. Your peripheral vision is going to be open. And peripheral, by the way, covers not only sides, but also top and bottom. So you're fine. Trust me, you're fine. I've been doing this for years, guys. Years ago, a buddy of mine said, why do you have your optics so far back? He goes, you look like an airsofter. I'm like, have you ever seen airsofters? I mean the guys who really take it seriously. I'm not talking about the goofballs, but the guys who really take airsoft seriously, those guys are deadly. When they get into this stuff, the real deal stuff, and you start getting into like simulations rounds, those guys will dominate because they're so good at finding their optics efficiently. So guys, that's it. It's very simple. By placing your optic up close, it allows you to track objects so much more efficiently than you normally would if your optic were down here. I have consistently found that when my optic is further down the gun, and I've actually seen guys put them here, don't know why, that's like AK style. When my optic is close to my eye, man, I'm telling you, I can get all the precision that I need and all the speed that I need all day long. This totally changes how you run the gun. It puts you a good optic, a good trigger, puts you inside of that weapon and allows you to just feel what that gun is doing, as opposed to taking a shot and then kind of like struggling to find your optic again. Which, by the way, it's harder to lose an optic on a long gun than it is with a handgun, which is why I don't particularly like optics on handguns. And the last thing is this: when dealing with an optic, remember, you are going to have to deal with battery maintenance. You've got to maintain the batteries on these optics, guys. T1s, everyone says, oh, they've got a 5-year battery life. No, they don't. At setting 8, which is there, they have a 5-year battery life. The second you go from 8 to 9, whoops, 10 months. Look it up. All right, guys, so that's what I've got for you guys today. As always, God bless you all. Get those guns out and practice. Have a good one.